Welcome to Conversations with Verdel Jones. I'm your host, Verdel Jones, and we are about empowering your passion with purpose. Today's a little different, though. We're going to be talking about legacy, history, and the importance of telling those stories. So today I'm joined by Dr. Denice Sheppard, whose work centers around culture, history, preservation, education, and community. She's also an author as well. She does her work through the Whispering Spirit Cultural Tours and the Carl Hill Foundation. And she's helping people really to connect more deeply with those stories and places and legacies that sometimes are often overlooked.
Correct.
So I want to welcome you here today as our guest. Tell us a little bit about Whispering Spirit Cultural Tours and what inspired you to create that.
Well, you know what the inspiration was? Anytime any family member would come back to Long Island, they would like for me to take them somewhere.
Okay.
So I would like, okay, let's go. But I'm the kind of person, our family has been there forever, so we know a lot of back roads.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So I would take them here and there. They were like, oh, this is great. I'm like, okay. And we would go to this place and that place. And a lot of people like to go to the farm stands out east.
Right.
But I figured, why not do a whole tourism component that can showcase, these were the farms of yesterday,
right.
Taking them to the farms. It's because we don't have really anything in this area anymore.
Right.
But showing them where there's a long, like the last standing slave plantation in Shelter Island, taking them to Sylvester Manor, showing them the grounds, showing them that there was a community that flourished that were, even though in spite of enslavement, but the three ethnicities that worked there, they worked together. They collaborated together, whether it be the Irish, whether it be the Indigenous and the African American people. So they, were able to work together, maintain the property when the Sylvesters were out of town or whatever. But there's a connection with that family as well as the Lloyd's family in Lloyd's Neck, who also owned a plantation, and they had deep roots down in Barbados, where they were bringing the enslaved people to these communities to work. So there's a lot of history just between those two families because they were intermarried. They owned property, whether it be in Long Island, but they also owned property in the Caribbean. And as a result of that, the people were brought from Barbados to Long Island. So I take them to Lloyd's Neck, and as you know, Jupiter Hammond was one of the earliest African American poets in the country. So there is something that they hold dear to them there, which shows who he was. It's really unbelievable to know that he was corresponding with Phyllis Wheatley. Back then. I mean, you just said he's such
like
a
how?
big feat. Yeah. But he was very fluent in the English language.
Wow.
So I take them to Sylvester Manor. I take them all over. We take them to Southampton, the Shinnecock Reservation, to visit Ma's house, which is Jeremy Dennis's artist. He's an artist and has beautiful residencies throughout the community. But we go to the reservation, we go to the powwow, we go out to Montauk, we go all over, so it's not only out east, we go to the North Shore, to the areas where the history is really real as well. Cold Spring Harbor, we do go by the DNA place, but we don't actually go off the bus on that because you would need permission. But just to show them this is where it happened. This is where all the genetics happened back then.
Absolutely.
And it's so close. Oyster Bay is very, very close to Cold Spring Harbor. So we just tailor. We also do tailored custom tours too.
Okay.
the South Shore as well.
Okay.
You know,
Okay. You can't leave the South Shore
you can't leave them out. You know, it's part of history. You know, and it makes the tour that much more engaging.
Absolutely.
When the kids want to learn more, I give them all some information about where we're going, so that they can take it upon themselves again to research the area, you know, and the people that live there. And they're no longer there. The communities of color are no longer there. However, it was flourishing at one point in time.
So why do you think the cultural tours really have a powerful way to connect people with history? I mean, it seems like it would be obvious, but what have you experienced with individuals going on these tours?
Well, it's very impactful because it shows them that it debunks a lot of the theories that are out there, the stereotypical theories that either people of color did not own property. That's not the case. Or people of color were not industrious, like they had no a stake in the community, that they were just there, involved with just enslavement, which I don't really think people realize that our history predates slavery. Our history didn't start with slavery. Maybe it started here in Long Island with slavery, but it predates that. And by showing, whether it's children, we've taken all types of kids all around Long Island, and they're just so engaged, like, wow, this is wonderful, this is beautiful. And then we go to the restaurants, the local restaurants that may offer something that is, you know, culturally relevant or similar to what, you know, they may like. So I have to correspond with the restaurants to say, listen, you know, we're coming in a group of 14, a group of 25 or whatever. So we have a prefixed menu, you know. So I try to relate that history, food, the commonality of, you know, culture, so that everybody can get a well-rounded experience.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So how can schools, families, organizations, community groups find out more about the tours, the Whispering Spirit Cultural Tours? And I mean, you shared what their experience is going to be, which, I mean, you just, in a few minutes, shared things that I had no idea about.
Really?
So that is amazing. And that's always, you want that, right? You want people to come away with new knowledge or confirm some things that they may have known, but really now we know it to be true.
Absolutely.
So how can people, you know, organizations, community members, or whatever, reach out to you in reference to that?
Okay, they can go to my website, wsctours.com. You can email me, or you can go to the website and you can book your tours through the website.
Awesome.
Okay, and we do have cemetery tours, church tours, and things of that nature.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. And you can tailor them to what you might want.
Absolutely. And Gilded Mansion tours.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah,
oh, that's
since
awesome.
the North Shore is, you know, considered the Gold Coast.
Yes, it is.
Right?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Absolutely. We have to do this. We have to show our younger generation what it's like. We have to bring that information.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So I want to thank everybody for watching Conversations with Verdel Jones. And if you liked what you heard and saw, please make sure you don't keep it to yourself. Make sure you share, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe so you can get more quality content like this. So thanks again for watching Conversations with Verdel Jones, and we will see you next time.